Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to slash that subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, learning about Rui, he was always a boy with a weaker and more frail body, bedridden for most of his life. One day Muzan converted him into a demon, giving him the strength to venture beyond his bed, but at the cost of hiding from the sun and devouring humans. Mortified by their son's habits, Rui's father and mother had intended to kill Rui, but Rui managed to kill them first. Thinking about a story where a father sacrifices himself to save his son, Rui realized that his father and mother had planned to end their own lives after they had put Rui to rest. Since the damage had been done, Rui was forced to continue following Muzan and hide the fact that he missed his parents. Now that his life is coming to an end, Rui can finally admit that he was wrong, having suffered every day missing his parents. With Rui's headless body laying beside Tanjiro, Tanjiro reaches out as Rui's body disintegrates before him. Even though Rui had killed so many, his parents are still willing to follow after him, keeping him company in the afterlife. Seeing Tanjiro empathize with a demon, Giyu states that Tanjiro shouldn't empathize with a monster. But Tanjiro interjects, stating that demons were once human too, and they were most likely forced into becoming one. Therefore slayers must look past their hideous side, and at least spare a little empathy. Giyu realizes that Tanjiro was the boy with the demon sister, Nezuko, but has no time to chat, as he draws his sword, deflecting a blow from Shinobu. As the Demon Slayer Corps helpers continue to secure and heal the captured slayers infected with various demons' poison, we cut to Shinobu revealing how she had always disliked Giyu. Revealing that Nezuko the demon is his sister, Tanjiro had hoped to persuade Shinobu to lower her sword, but Shinobu simply offered to kill Nezuko with a poison. Seeing as Shinobu will not surrender, Giyu demands Tanjiro to force his body to move and flee with Nezuko. Holding back the pain, Tanjiro rushes to grab Nezuko's box, running through the forest. Unwilling to be held back by Giyu, Shinobu simply leaps into the trees, making use of her agility to stay out of reach from Giyu. Out of nowhere, Tanjiro is hit from behind by another slayer, forcing him to drop Nezuko. Before the slayer can kill Nezuko, Tanjiro holds back the slayer, giving Nezuko a head start. Putting Tanjiro to sleep, the slayer catches up to Nezuko, slashing at her only to realize that Nezuko had shrunk. Continuing to evade the slayer's slashes, the slayer notes that Nezuko is refusing to fight back. Back with Giyu, he had managed to place Shinobu in a lock, preventing her from catching up to Tanjiro. Before things get messy between the two, a crow announces to every slayer in the forest that Nezuko and Tanjiro are to be taken back alive. As the sun dawns on a new day, Tanjiro, Inosuke, Zenitsu and Nezuko have all successfully made it out of the hellish forest. Having been brought to the slayer headquarters, Tanjiro awakens to see several hashiras gossiping about the events that had unfolded. Learning from Shinobu that Tanjiro will be placed on trial for protecting a demon. This leads several hashiras to speak up. The flame states that Tanjiro is clearly guilty for protecting a demon. The sound hashira talks about how flamboyant he is. The love hashira is wondering why a mere boy is here. The stone hashira feels sad for Tanjiro and the mist hashira is wondering why he's here. Looking around from his comrades, Tanjiro spots the serpent hashira, adding that Giyu should be punished for assisting Tanjiro. But Giyu simply stands in silence, refusing to entertain the other hashira's conversation. Turning to Tanjiro, the hashiras ask Tanjiro why he's traveling with a demon, which Tanjiro reveals that the demon is his sister, and that she is an exception, having never killed any humans. Calling Tanjiro's desperate pleas as lies, all the hashiras are reluctant to believe him, as they believe that Tanjiro is spitting out lies, to cover for a family member. As Tanjiro begs for the hashiras to believe him, the wind hashira arrives, holding Tanjiro's box in his hand. Making fun of Tanjiro's delusions, the wind hashira plunges his blade into Tanjiro's box, stabbing Nezuko in the process. Hearing Nezuko in pain, Tanjiro rushes towards the wind hashira, who underestimates Tanjiro. Leaping into the air, Tanjiro smashes his head into the wind hashira's head, bringing hashira to the ground, whilst Tanjiro rushes to Nezuko's side. Everyone is amazed to see Tanjiro land a blow on hashira, but before things can escalate, the master of the slayers arrives immediately. Tanjiro notes that there is something odd about the master, but is shocked to see all the hashiras bow their heads in the master's presence. With the hashiras greeting the master, they ask about the identity of Tanjiro and his reasons for traveling with a demon. The master asks that the hashira accept the demon as one of their own, but all the hashira cannot do such a thing, as the idea of befriending a demon would go against their morals. Reading a letter sent by Tanjiro's master, Sakonji, who was also a former hashira, it's revealed that Sakonji has assessed Nezuko as a reliable demon, and if Nezuko were to ever attack a human, Sakonji and Giyu will end their own lives, to atone for their failings. Shedding tears, Tanjiro is touched by Giyu's and Sakonji's trust in him, but also the master adds that they must treat Nezuko as a human, as there is no proof that she'll attack another. Additionally, the master notes Tanjiro's usefulness, as he has encountered Muzan, which no slayer has ever done before. Hoping to use Tanjiro to bait Muzan out further, the master is interrupted. Cutting in, the Wind Hashira refuses to allow Tanjiro's demon to live. Coming up with an idea, the Wind Hashira forces Nezuko out of her box, tempting her with his blood, all whilst Tanjiro is forced to leave Nezuko to decide for herself the best course of action. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like and comment.